Hello, I did it audience. Hope you're having an awesome day, evening, or whatever time you're watching this video. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you clicked on this video. Love it if you hit the subscribe button and love it if you hit the like button. So I want to talk about a special hero in Heroes of History, and this is William Wallace. William Wallace is the first legendary hero that I got in this game, and I've been using him ever since. And I think he's a little bit underrated in the game with a lot of players. But William Wallace is so good, and I use him in so many different ways in the game. And I want to talk through some of those different avenues on how I use William Wallace and where I think he's really special. So let's talk about his ability. He performs a powerful sword attack, dealing 83% damage to all enemy units within the range of 3. So damage-wise, he's kind of in the mid-range. He does a better job clearing away the troops around him, but eventually he does wear down on the hero that he's attacking. William Wallace gains 299% of his base damage as a shield and increases his defense by 39% for 8 seconds. So this is where he's really starts to shine. Is William Wallace keeps you in the fight, he keeps you in the game, and he stays alive long enough to get heals, and he works really well in a lot of different scenarios that way. And the other special way that he works really well is his secondary special ability, which also grants 54% of his base damage as a shield to all friendly units within the range of 3. So not only does it help himself, but he also helps the friendly units around him, which is usually if they're close by another hero. It really helps out keeping that heavy damage hero that doesn't have a lot of health and help keeps that hero in the game. So I really like pairing him up with Lancelot, and so many times when I'm coming down and Lancelot's about to die, he has really saved me by putting that shield around Lancelot and making Lancelot last a little bit longer until a heal comes in. So let's go in and talk about his relic. So great relic for him to have is the Massive Tut. Again, that gives him, when he dies, that gives him a little extra HP. He's got the shield on and keeps him hanging in the game just long enough to get another heal. And I can't tell you how often the Massive Tut has saved me with William Wallace and kept me in the fight. All right, so we're going to go into Arena, and I want to particularly focus around the secondary special ability on protection of friendly units around him. And this works really well against taunt heroes. So here's one right here. We got this guy right here, King Minos. And he's got a taunt, and he's really fast with his ability. And that will force William Wallace to get near Lancelot and put on the shield. So let's go, or vice versa, or Lancelot will come towards William Wallace. Let's go. Where's the setup? Okay, there's a taunt, and so it's going to bring William Wallace over to him. All right. We are going into battle. Let's go into this now. This should be reasonably easy win. I'm at 28k power. They're at 26k. I like my setup against the taunt. And George Washington, I'm not a big fan of George Washington. Sometimes he does really well spreading the damage, but sometimes get a hit by Lancelot and everyone's in trouble then. All right, let's go in and see how this plays out. So Minos does the slow up, so everyone's going to be slower. We got the taunt. Now William Wallace is going to be moving over there. Come on, William Wallace, get over there. Get over there. All right, there's a shield. There's a shield. Okay, Minos is gone. Heavy damage to the taunt. And there he finishes off. Now we're set with 5 5 heroes against their 4 or 3. No, 3. So now we need to get a big hit into George Washington. Once the big hit comes into George Washington, that will spread damage to the rest of the heroes. There goes the shield, keeping Lancelot alive. There goes the heal. There we go. And we finish it off. And a clean win. All right, that was a nice win. That was a nice win. All right, the other thing I want to talk about William Wallace is helps out a lot in Treasure Hunt. Let's go into Treasure Hunt. And again, Treasure Hunt is all about is making more characters last longer and keep them fully healed. And William Wallace helps with that. So what I like to use, though, this is how I like to use William Wallace in Treasure Hunt. And I'm just going to put in a heavy damage person that generally takes a lot of damage. Since I got blue, I'm going to place in this one right here. Ocellato. Not sure if I pronounce them. Then I'm going to put, let's go ahead and put another one. We got green. Let me go put Leonidas in there. So Leonidas. And then I'm going to put William Wallace in there in the back. Okay. Now I need to get a healer. So let's get a healer in there. Who do I got? Right here. Healer. And then let's get a siege in there. Let's see. Let's get Minas in there. Okay. So there we go. So the goal is William Wallace is going to put a shield around this character. This character does pretty good damage, but the problem is his health. He always gets beat up in the long term. All right, let's get the slow. We're going to prove the point in the next round. So this one's I'm going to hold off doing the skill. Okay, so we're going to do his hit. Put a shield around him. You know, he was taking heavy damage, and now he's still taking heavy damage, but let's reduce it. So as we finish this up, I'm happy with the results. So if you look across here, I'm still very close to 100%. And that's the goal. What you want to do is you want to finish Treasure Hunt as quickly as possible and make sure you're healed as much as possible. And we're done. Now we did a Treasure Hunt. And the last thing is going into campaigns. Let's go into campaign. As we can go in here right now. And what do we got here? Okay. So a lot of troops here. A lot of troops here. Let's get Lancelot out here. Got to move away Lancelot. We're going to get someone that does a lot of damage to a lot of troops. We got Shield. What's her name? Mary Curie. Man, she's awesome in campaigns. I'm going to do a video on her too. That's probably the next one. All right, let's go into battle. Let's finish this. So the reason why I got to get some skills off here. I like William Wallace in campaign is his ability to clear away troops. So the range that he has, so he covers 3 range. And there you go. Nice hit, clearing away a bunch of troops. Get a heal. They're gone. Now we're on the next level. Or next wave. I wasn't paying attention, using my skills not quick enough. Because of that, a hero may die. Oh, good. I got to heal. Still don't think he's going to last. I think he's... Let's get that off. Am I going to get the 3-star? Come on. There we go. All right, the stun. I may get the 3-star. I may get the 3-star. Heal. Heavy damage. There we go. And I clear with 3 stars. Nice. So there you got it. There's William Wallace. Again, I think he's a great hero. And he really can be used in campaign very well, treasure hunt very well, and player versus player in the arena. So I hope you liked this video. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe. Definitely more videos coming out.